I want to import data from Excel. So that's what we'll be doing majorly today. So now after then, they will now do data cleaning. Firstly, if you want to import from SQL, which is SQL query language, if you want to import from SQL database, the organization that actually provide you, the organization will provide you the SQL database. Yes, they'll give you a details of the SQL database for you to extract the data. Yes, from the database. Yes, SQL is more like a database management. Okay, we have SQL. We also have the MS Access. So the MS Access is also used for as a database. So now what I will do is that here I make use of Microsoft SQL. So now before I can connect my Excel to my SQL server, I have to start my SQL server here. So which implies that if you do not have an SQL server, you won't be able to do this. But just follow up the process as I'm doing it, be following up with me, so that subsequent time when you have access to a database, you know how to import your data to Excel or to connect your Excel with the SQL server. So let me go to SSMS. So you can see we have the SQL Server Management Studio. So this is the IDE for the Microsoft SQL. So I will click on Open. So it's loaded. You can see Microsoft SQL Server Management. Oh, okay. Let me share my screen. So can you see my screen now? So that's nice.
Yes, we can see.
So sorry about that. I thought I've already shared my screen. So I've already launched the SQL server, or probably let me do it again since you did see my screen before. Let me close this. So now what I did is that I told you that if you are to connect your Excel to your Microsoft SQL server, or let me say SQL server, okay, then you are going to be given the login details or give you an access to the database management. So now here on my system, I have Microsoft SQL. That's what I use. We have Microsoft SQL, we have our PostgreSQL, we have MySQL. So those are the various kind of SQL that we have. Okay, you can decide to use any one, and their syntax are similar. Okay, so if you are able to use Microsoft SQL, definitely you should be able to use PostgreSQL, and you should be able to use MySQL. Okay, but as for me, I prefer using my Microsoft SQL, yes, because that's the one that is always most in demand now, especially as for data analysts. So now what I want to do now is that I want to launch my SQL server. So just follow up. This is my SQL server Management Studio. So now, if you do not launch it, you won't be able to connect it with your Excel. So what I want to do is that I want to connect it, and after launching it now, I want to copy the username, yes, from the SQL server. I want to copy the username, then I will use that username in my Excel. So it's still loading. You can see my screen, right? So now, yeah, this is my server name. So I will have to copy this server name. After copy this server name, then I will connect this. If I do not connect it, I will connect it so that the server, my SQL can be active. So I'll click on connect. So once I click on connect, so my SQL server is now working. So I can now come here. I'm going to go to view. Let me go to file, open. Yes, I can see new data query with current connection. So if I click on query with current connection, then it will load, then it will give me a template to write my syntax. So our today's training is not for SQL. So I only want to connect it. After connecting it, then I can minimize it. And remember, I've already copied the username from my SQL server. So what I will now do is that I will now go to my Excel. I'll go to my Excel. Let me open my Excel. Okay. So after opening my Excel, so this is my Excel now, it's still opening. Let's wait for it to load. So after loading, so now what I want to do is that I want to import a data from my SQL server to my Excel. Remember, I told you that we can have different data sources to import your data. So we want to try the SQL. You know, last class we talked about the Excel. Today now we're going to import from SQL, and at the same time we're going to import from Excel workbook or Excel CSV file at the same time. So now the first one we are dealing with is we want to import from Excel from the SQL server. So I'll go to data. For the person that is talking about you do not see more features or something when you are using get external data. This here we have it. You can see from SQL server, from analysis service. So now if you want to import from SQL server, you can click this first one. If you are importing from Excel, you can make use of this text file. Okay. So now let me use from SQL server. So after clicking on that, so the next thing, the next dialog box that will pop up is the server name box. The server name, for me to input my server name, then I will paste the name I copied from my SQL server. So now after copying it and pasting it, then the next thing I will do is next. After clicking on next, it will ask me, select the database that contains the data you want. So which of the database? Let me say AdventureWork 2019. So now, which implies that if you are making use of SQL Server, there will be a database that you are working with. And then that database will have a data, yes, that you actually want to import. So these are the data that we have under AdventureWork 2019 database. Okay, so now I can select any of all of this. Let me say I want to make use of candidate employment. So that's the data that I want to import. So after clicking on it, the next thing I will do is I'll click on next. So once I click on next, the next thing I will do is, you can see we have finish. Let me click on finish. So when I click on finish, it will now ask me, do I want the data to be in table format? Do I want it to be in pivot table report? Do I want it as a pivot chart? I will just say I want it as a table. Then I will click OK. The reason why I'm having it here is because I placed my cursor on this sheet. Okay, on this cell, particular cell. That's why I have my data here. Okay, so now let's now try it again using the new query. I'll click on data. I'll go to new query. I'll go to from file. So from file here now, you see we have from workbook, we have from CSV, we have from text. So here now we have from database. So now for Microsoft SQL is always the first here. So this second one is Microsoft Access Database. This one is Oracle. This one is MySQL. We have IBM DB, DB2 database, depending on the one you want to work with. So now here I will click on this. After clicking on this now, then I will now go to server. I will put the server name there. And after putting the server name, the next thing I will do is to click OK. So now after clicking OK, then I can preview. So if I click here, okay, let me click on the plus sign here. If I click on the plus sign here, it will be able to give me the drop down of all the data that we have in that database. Which one did we choose that time? So let me just choose anyone. Let's say I want to choose this. So it will preview it. Okay. So now if the data need a cleaning, it is this edit that you now click on. So, but the data doesn't need cleaning, I will click on load. You can see where my cursor is here. So I'm expecting my data to occupy, to start from this first cell. So this is how to import data from SQL to your Excel sheet. Okay. And another thing again is, if you are using this get external data, and peradventure you couldn't have Excel workbook here, so that means that you have to receive your Excel workbook as a text file, because you might not be able to import it. So any question on this? So remember, I use how to use the get external data to import from SQL to Excel, and at the same time, I still make use of the new query to import from your SQL to the Excel. So do you have any question? If you have a question, please kindly ask before we proceed. Hello, any question? Rabi Lawan, Theophilus.
Sir, you are going so fast, I couldn't catch you.
So what about others? So is it that I'm too fast?
For me, I'm with the computer today, but I cannot follow you the way you.
Okay, so the
But
only
for me,
challenge that you
except
might,
maybe.
except what? So the only thing I could say is probably maybe because you don't have SQL Server on your system. But what my question is can you do you actually make adjustments, or do you actually follow up on how I did it? You are still going to have the recordings of this class. Okay, and that's why I use two different methods to do it. So if you actually follow up, please kindly give me a thumbs up so
Okay,
that we
sir.
can proceed. Okay, Abiodun, good. Okay. So you want to say something?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir. So please, though I really followed up, sir, but I want to know all this SQL and all those things. How did you get there? Were you the one that installed them? Like, is it an app or something that you install your system, or
Yes.
they are just there?
Okay. SQL Server is not on your system by default. You'll be the
Okay.
one to install it. And in fact, if an organization is giving you a database to work with, definitely the database, you are expected to have that SQL, yes, the database on your system for you to be able to connect it to your Excel. Are you getting me? And
Yes,
then
sir.
when you are dealing with the database, it can be offline and it can be online. So now imagine if an organization you are working with is in UK and you are in Nigeria here. Okay, you can actually connect to their database. Do you understand? But you must have that database installed on your laptop, on your device. Okay, and that's why I now said that we have different kind of SQL server. We have the PostgreSQL, we have the Microsoft SQL, we have MySQL. In fact, we also have Oracle database. We have a lot of database. Do you understand? So now, after you now install it, the installation takes a while. It is a process on its own. Okay. So now, if peradventure we are taking advanced class on data analysis, which have to do with SQL. So it is during that class that we now look into the process that you can follow to install SQL Server on your device. But this training that we are doing now, So I'm only showing you how you can import your data from SQL to your Excel in case you are provided with a database engine. So you just need your username, and then that username is why after copying your username, you make sure you connect, you start the SQL server, then you go to your Excel to actually import it, the data from the SQL. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, please, another one again. All the data that you imported, is it that you've already typed them using the Microsoft Excel or?
No, all the data you are seeing there are the data that has been created in the database itself.
Okay.
You understand? So that's why I was telling you that, okay, now, if an organization is giving you data to work on, they might not give you Excel data directly. They might ask you that you should go and import the data, this particular data, from our database. Then they will not grant you an access to their database. Okay, so now that in database SQL, the advantage that SQL has is SQL can take more than 20,000 data entry. It can take, in fact, 50,000 data entry, 100,000 data entry. Data that Excel cannot even contain. Those are the kind of data that SQL server can actually take. And that's why if they now have series of data like that, organizations prefer to use the SQL database to save their data or to store their data. So now, whenever you now want to work with those data, you now go and pick the data that you want to work with, and you import it from there to your Excel. Okay. So now, if you are going through SQL class, it is during the SQL class that you now be learning how to create a database and how to create different tables in the database. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
All right, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So any other questions? Faith, you wanted to say something?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Sir, please,
Yeah, good
I'm
morning.
sorry. I just joined. I really went to take my medication after the last class. So I don't know if you can just give me a summary of what you've presented. Just a summary first. I will continue from here.
We only did how to import data from SQL. From now, what I will now do is that how you can import data from Excel to how you can import from Excel workbook or CSV file to your Excel. So that's what we'll be dealing with now. So though for you now, Faith, you can actually go through, by the time you get the recordings, can follow up with that first part that we did because of our time. Okay, so now what I will do now is that let me go further to create a new sheet. So now in this new sheet now, I want to import that sales management data we used last week. Then that's the first data that we use for data cleaning. Okay, because where we are actually going to is data cleaning. But before we can do data cleaning, we should be able to learn how to import the data first from different data sources. In fact, you can as well still import data from your web. Yes, let's say from a website. How do you do that? If you go to data, you go to new query. Do I have from web here? From database, from Azure. You can see we have from websites. So you can as well still import. So your data can be from anywhere. In fact, we even have from Facebook. Can you see? Your data can be from anywhere. So once you have the address of where your data is, you can actually import your data to Excel to work with. So now I want to import my data now. The data I want to import is, I think, is Excel workbook. The sales management data that we did, that we used in the last class. So I will be dealing with just two data. Okay, I will use that sales data first. After using that sales data, then I will use IGR data. I will clean it, and after cleaning it, I will give you a task also to do. So that's how we go through it step by step. So now let me go to my desktop. Then I can come to, let me see, sales data. You have this data already. Then I'll click on import. So for the person that said he only has get external data, you can as well still, if that is giving you more issues, you can as well still uninstall the Excel that you have and install the latest version of Excel. You can install either 2019 or this one that I'm using is even 2016 or 2016. So that you can have, because the new query has more features, yes, compared to the guest external data. So now after importing this now, I will now click on each of these data to preview. And if you want to select multiple, you can select here for multiple. But if I want to take it just one after the other to preview it, can come here, preview it. Okay. So now previewing actually allow you to check if the data is well organized or not. So that if the data has a need there is a need for cleaning on your data, then you'll be able to clean the data. Is that okay? So now all I will now do now is that here now the only challenge that this data has is the data and time I combine. Okay, but we're still going to use this for other things. Okay, so now let me now click on edit. I'm not loading it because I want to work on the data. So now if I click on edit, it can be edit on your system, and at the same time it can be transformed. For those of you that have laptop with you, you can actually be practicing this as you are progressing, so that you get it at first hand. And then if you have some questions, you'll be able to ask some questions straight up. So now after having this now, so this is now a Power Query editor. So Power Query editor is where you clean your data. Okay, that's where you clean your data, and it is from while you are importing your data that you'll be able to get to Power Query editor. And in Power Query editor, we have the home, we have the transform, we have the add column, we have the view. Okay, so now here we have the settings, query settings. Every step you take in cleaning your data, all the steps will be reflecting under your apply steps here. Okay, which implies that here you cannot use Ctrl+Z. So here you cannot use Ctrl+Z. So what you can only do is that if you want to take it back a step, then if you want to take it back a step, what you do is that you click here to take it back. You click on this X symbol to take it back. That's the only thing you can do. But you cannot go forward. Whatever you've cleaned, you've erased, you cannot actually go back to it again. So by the time you are trying to do your cleaning, you have to be very careful, and then you do it systematically. So here now, it will be as a revision for those that wouldn't follow up yet in our last class. So now if we are click on the date column, if I click on date column, what I want to do is that I want to split this date column. But if I'm splitting it, I will check the number of characters that we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, the date, the numbers of characters in our date is 8 characters. Then I'll come to home. Let me click here again. Then I'll come to home. I'll go to split column. I'll go to by number of characters. By delimiter means that anywhere you have comma or anywhere you have full stop, you should split it. So I'm going to choose by number of characters. And after choosing by number of characters, the next thing we have is what are the number of characters? We have 8. And if you are splitting, we have once as far left as possible. Once as far left as possible means that if you start counting from the left. Okay, and once as far right as possible means that if you start counting from the right. Okay, so now if I come here and say once as far left as possible, then I can now click OK. Once I click OK, you can see that it has been splitted already. Then I can double click here on this heading and put date. And I can as well double click here and put time. So if you are with your system and you just did what I what I did now. So can you signify? If you're actually on the same page with me, yes, like you have your system there and you just try out that importation now. So can you signify so that we know how many persons actually following up with me in terms of the practical hands-on? Is there anybody? Okay, so any questions so far for what I just did? So any questions? Should I continue?
Hello, sir. Are you there?
Yes, David, I'm with you.
Yeah. So the issue is that it shows the interface is different from my own. I'm using Excel 2013.
2013.
But
2013 is the lower version now.
I've been trying to get the maybe
Just
2019.
just try and get either 2016 or 2019. That 2013 is the lower version. It might not have a new query there.
The interface is also different.
So that's a challenge. So any other person, try and upgrade the Excel. Yes, try and upgrade on it, and then you follow up with the class.
Okay, sir. My is where am I entering that query? Because I opened a new sheet. I don't know if it was from home or insert that I'm supposed to
So
see.
you go to data. You go to data now. You go to data.
Okay.
You go to data. So let
I saw
me.
queries and connections. I don't know if that is it.
Which cell are you using?
I think it's. Let me check.
So click on query. Click on. You don't see. Are you not seeing no query there?
I saw queries and connections.
But there is no new query standing alone. So there is no new query standing alone, right?
Like new query.
So click on that query and connections. Yes. Check if you have a new query. Just like this. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Hello, can you see my screen? So have you seen the new query there? Hello. So let me continue. Okay. So now, after having this now, okay. Have you seen the new query?
Screen. I can see your screen, sir.
Okay. So I said, have you seen new query? So after splitting this data and time, so then let's now go to home. Okay. So now I want to use this data to explain all what you can do in your all what you can do in your cleaning. Okay. So now what we now do now is here we have choose column.
No, sir, there is no new query there.
There is no new query.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
You said there is no new query there. So what do you end? Then click on that query and connections.
I click on the query and connections. Just put out query and connection at the side. 0 queries is what they wrote there.
Okay. 0 queries. Okay. So it doesn't take you to any data sources and all.
No.
Okay. So maybe we review that with time. Okay. So let's continue so that it won't take us backward. Just follow what we have here now for now. So maybe probably after the class, yes. So we now talk about that. Is that okay? So now, after splitting this column, after splitting it, the next thing is that let's now look at all these features that we have under O. So now, we have choose column, we have remove column, we have keep rows, we have remove rows, we have remove errors, we have remove duplicates. So if you want to choose a particular column to work with in your Excel, by the time you load this data, you click on choose column. So when you click on choose column, the one that is being marked are the one that are chosen. So let's say I'm choosing this type. I click on that. I click OK. You can see that my data has reduced to the one that I selected. So that's choose column. It enables you to choose the column you want to work with. Okay. So now if I go back to my home also, I also have remove columns. Remove column means that if you want to remove some certain columns in your data, maybe that columns are not necessary. They are not useful. Okay, you can go to remove columns. Then you select the column you want to remove. Let's say I want to remove the outlet column and I want to remove the salesperson column. So that I can come here and say remove column. So can you see that it has been removed? But if I want to go back to my previous data, the one that has the two columns, then I can come here and erase it. So now I'm back to my data. So now let's now still continue. If you want to remove duplicates, sometimes if you are doing some analysis, there may be a need for you to remove duplicate data. Okay, and what you do is that you click on the sales. Let's say we want to look at if this sales has a duplicate data and then we want to remove the duplicate data. You click on the column. After clicking on the column, then you go to duplicate, remove duplicates. So now any data that is occurring twice or so is going to be removed. That's removing duplicates. I click here to take it back. Then I go back to my home again. We have remove errors. Sometimes you will see part of your cells, maybe part of your data having error. Okay, and then there's no way you analyze such a data that it won't give you issues. Then you have to remove those errors. So removing those errors, you have to come here. You see remove errors, but you're going to select the column at first and say remove errors. That's if the data has errors. If it doesn't have, no need of you clicking on it. So now after then, we've talked about split column. So data type. So data type, what that means is that for your data, you check the data type for each of these columns. You click on like this region, I click on this region. I click on, it is a text variable. And that's the same thing as text. I'll choose text as data type. I will click on this second one, which is a product. I will click text also. I will click on outlet column. I will select text. I will click on add column. Oh, sorry. I'll click on salesperson. I'll go to my home. I'll click on text. So this our sales data. Our sales column is a whole number. So now we're going to select a whole number. This date now, you click on it, we go to home. We're going to make it, yes, it's date by default. So let's go to the time also. The time also, yes, it's also there. So now that's data type. Every data has their own data type. String is the same thing as text. Okay, we can have whole numbers, can have decimal, depending on how your data is being structured. So now the next thing also is we have use first row as headers. So sometimes you may have data that has their headings to be maybe column 1, column 2, column 3. It doesn't have specific names. Okay, and peradventure, maybe after that heading, you now have your exact column name in the first row. then you can actually make that first row your header. So we're going to work on a data that has something to do like that. So we're going to do that after this particular data we are using. So now I can click on use first row as header. And when I say use first row as header, you can see what I have. It has taken my first row as my headings. Then I can take this off. Okay, and if I go back to my home, we also have replace value. Let's say, for instance, now this data now, in the course of data entry, we have 354. Oh, the organization has said that, oh, in that data you are saying, you know, instead of that 354, it's supposed to be 454. So that is a mistake. So kindly make adjustment to it. So, and you know, you don't know how many 354 that you can have in your data, which implies that that's why you cannot use it directly in your Excel. It is in Power Query Editor that you'll be able to do that. So now you now go to your home, then you go to replace values. And when you go to replace value, it asks you that what's the value to find. The value to find is 354. And you want it to be, let's say you want it to be 454. You put 454. And when you put 454, then you're going to click OK. So you notice that this is 354 before. Now it has changed to 454. So anywhere it says 354, it's going to change it to 454. Okay, that's replacing value. And at the same time, if you also have null value, NULL, you can also replace the null value also. Okay, using this this method. So now the next thing we now do is that after that, this merge query is when you are merging two data together. Let's say you are having data that is coming continuously. Let's say you are having monthly sales, and then as the data is coming, you are merging it. So that's what we use merge query for. Okay, we use it to merge subsequent data together instead of creating different Excel sheets for data. You'll be merging them together. Okay, so that's what merge query does. And you'll be able to select the other data. Okay, so it's majorly used when you are dealing with subsequent data, maybe either monthly data or yearly data. So that's what it's being used for. So that's about that. So now let's now continue. So same thing applicable to append query too. So joining two data sets together. So that's about the home. That's all what we have in the home. Then we have transform. In transform, what transform does is that these are the features that we have under transform. Number one, we have transpose. Transpose means that if you want to make your column your row, if I click on transpose now, you can see it will make my column my row. This data in the view has been truncated due to size limit. Okay, you can see it's because we have plenty data, so you cannot actually stretch them. So that's transpose. I take it back. So I'm still on transform. So while on transform also, we have reverse rows. Can reverse the rows. Okay, let me go back. You can count the numbers of rows. So now this data is 3,455 rows. So now you can only view the count. Yes, you cannot save it. So I'll take it back. I'll go to transform. So now under this transform, the same way we have replace value in our home, we also have replace value in our transform too. And we have replace errors. Okay. So we also have fill. So in case you have an empty cell in your data, you can actually fill it up and fill it down. But remember, if you are using fill up, it actually affects the originality of your data set. Okay, in which implies that if you have a null value in your data, it's always better you replace your null value with 0. Yes, it's always advisable you replace your null value with 0. Or otherwise, the organizational states that you should use this particular value, or you should use the mean of the values. Okay, but filling up and filling down, will affect the original data or originality of the data. That means that data has been altered. So after then, we also have split column here. So, and also here, one of the advantages of the transform is that when you are given a data, you might need to create another variable from that data. Okay, you may need to create another variable, which may be as a result of you either plussing after adding, subtracting, or making division on any of your columns. So if I go to transform now, I can go to statistics. If I go to statistics, let's say if I want to know my total sum, the sum of sales, I can click on sum. So this is the total sum. I can go back. If I click here also, go to transform. I can go to minimum. If I want to know the minimum sales, I can go back again. If I want to know the maximum sales, go to maximum, that's 879. Maximum sales. So now let me still click on the sales, go to transform. So if I come here, if I want to know the mean, the average, I can check the average. So that's how it is. So now let's now move to standard. What standard does is that, let's say for instance, now this is, now I want to divide or I want to subtract from this here, I want to subtract 10 or 20. But let's say I want to divide this sales by 2. This sales column. I can click on the sales column, go to transform. So when I go to transform, I can go to standard. I can say divide by, let's say I want to divide it by 5. So after dividing it by 5, you can see this is what we have. But it's going to take effect on the original column. If I want to take it back, I'll click here to take it back. So let me see, go further. We have scientific. So you can still use this if you want to do raised to power, you want to do square root, you want to do exponential, you can as well still do that. We also have this trigonometry here. If you want to find sine, cosine, tangents, and all that, you can as well still do all of that. And then you want to round up, you want to round down. So now we also have date here. Okay, this is for date and time. Let me click on date. Let me go to transform. Let me see what we have under date. Okay, so now under this date now, if I want to know only the month, I can click on month. Let me see days in month. If I click it, can you see it only shows the dates in month. So now let me go back here and go to date again. Let me go to transform. Any form of cleaning is done under your Power Query editor. Let's say this one now, I want to check only the year. The data is 2015. All the data entry is the 2015. So that's why we don't have different years. So now that's about transform. Okay. So now we have add column. So let me ask, are you all following me? Are you following up? Hope I'm not too fast. Hello, hope I'm not too fast. Hope you are following up.
Yes, sir,
Okay.
following.
Okay, so that's a good one. Okay, so let me continue. So now after that, we now have add column. So remember that the data you are dealing with, the issues that data has will determine what are the cleaning that it needed. Yes. So I'm only just using this one as an overview. So we are now going to take a data that is very, very rough. Yes. It is organized after this. So for the add column, we have index column. What index column does is that index column is more or less like a serial number. Okay, a serial number when we have 1, 2, 3. So I can, if I click on add index number, you can see it's giving me this 0, 1, 2. If I want it to start from 1, I'll go to add column. I'll go to add index column. I'll say from 1. If I say from 1, can you see it start from 1? Then if I want to take it,
It be like say Elon Musk don't like.
who is that? So now can you see this is the index? I can right click here and go to, I can say move to the beginning. So when I say move to the beginning, then I can, yes, move to the beginning. You can see I now have it here. I can double click here and put serial number. Put serial number. So now after putting serial number, so now the next thing I will now do is, let me see, go to my add column. So if you want to duplicate a particular column, you click on that column. Let's say I want to duplicate this. Click on the column, then I will say duplicate column. Okay, that's how to duplicate a column. And also under add column, we also have merge column. If you want to merge 2 columns, you select the 2 columns you want to merge, then you click on merge. And also in under add column, if you click on I click on sales column, then I go to add column. I can as well still go to standard, or let me even go to statistics first. Statistics is not clicking. Let me go to standard. If I go to standard now, if I want to add, or let me say I want to multiply each of the entry by 10, I can click on multiply. The value to multiply to it, I can say 10. And I can say okay. So now the difference between this one and then transform is that this one now is not going to take effect on the initial column. It's going to create a new column for it. Okay, so this is now the new column for it. That's about add column. And then here also for the date, you can as well do the same thing for the date. You click on the date. You come to the add the date here. You can say, let's say you want to see the month. You can click on the month. Yes, it's January, the first month. Okay, so now these are all the functions that you have in your Power Query Editor. If you go to this view is where you have the query settings. Sometimes these query settings disappear. You have to come back here to take it in. Okay, so that you'll be seeing all your steps. Okay, at the end, after doing all your cleaning, then let's say I want to take this one back because it's not necessary. I want to erase this. I want to erase this. I want to erase this. Erase this. Erase this. Erase this. Erase this. Erase this. Okay, so now I can now come to home and say close and load. So now you have your clean data. So now there is another data I sent to you. That data is unclaimed data. I don't know if you have it. If you have it, the unclaimed data on your platform, can you just give me a thumbs up? Do you have the unclaimed data on the platform? If you have it, give me a thumbs up or you say yes. Okay. So now it is that unclaimed data now that we want to make use of now. Want to make use of that unclaimed data. So we want to import it. and we want to clean it. So I'll be cleaning one, and I'm going to give you one as an assignment or a task to do in your class. Is that okay? So now let me open a new Excel. So I want to import the IBR data, which is the unclaimed data. I want us to clean it together. So now let me import it. So to import it, I will go to my data. So when I go to my data, I'll go to new query. And when I go to new query, I'll go to from file. I'll select from workbook. So when I go to from Excel workbook, I'll go to my desktop. Can come here, desktop. Then you can see I'll go to unclaimed data. Go to unclaimed data. Then click import. So now when I click import, you can see we have total ITR 2017. So I want to preview my data. Can you see how rough this data is? Can you see how messed up? Yeah, it's a messy data. We call it a messy data. The data is messed up. Okay, so now after having this now, so have you all gotten to this stage? For those of you that have system, and you have the Excel 2016. So were you able to do this? So I'm trying to import that data. If you have done that, please can you signify? Let me see. Do you have anybody that is able to get to this stage? If you are able to get to that stage, please signify while I continue. Okay, so now after having this now, the next thing we do.
Hello, sir. Sorry, sir. I want to ask a question.
Yes, is that fit? Okay, what's your question?
Yes, that's it. I think I've seen, because actually I opened the new page, I decided to just come afresh since you want to start a new this thing sheet. So I think mine is not showing the query.
I didn't get
it's
you.
under get data. I try. Like I've
You
now
under
seen
get
the
data,
new query
yes,
is,
yes,
but it is not tagged as new query. Yes, it's under get data. Then I entered from file.
yes. If you have get data there, yes, you can use it. Yes, you can use it. Can use it. So you can use it through that.
So I saw the unclean data. Okay, I saw my unclean data under my download.
Yes, then you import it from there now.
Okay.
So you go to that get data. You say you have a new query. Then you click on the new query. Then to take you to your desktop. Then you're going to go to download. Then you select the unclaimed data in your download. You understand? Then it's not take you to where I am now to Power Query Editor. Is that okay? So
I'm seeing after I've gotten to my node.
You've got it to where?
Like I can't see your screen to know what I'm following.
You can't see my screen. Okay, let me.
I've gotten to
So can you see my screen now?
import, then it gives a new thing, which is unclean data 2017. I'm only seeing
Yes.
navigator stuff.
And
Then
have you
this
previewed it just like
total. Should I click on it on the total IGR 2000?
total revenue, right? Yeah, click on the first one. Yes. Yes, click on that first one to preview it. So preview the data.
Okay, where I see Anambra, Abia State, and all that.
Yes. So you are following. That's a nice one. So now for the person that is asking if you can download the Excel 2016 online, you can actually download it, but the problem is you might not be able to crack it. You understand? Unless if you can crack it yourself, fine. But if you cannot, it's much better you just get the software from those that sell software. Yes. So you will get it from them and then you install it, because the cracking is the major challenge. You can get the software online, but if you can able to crack it yourself. Do you understand? And I think I've answered your question. So Immaculate.
Now, sorry to disturb you. How do you mean by crack it?
Cracking is most of the software we use in Nigeria here are not genuine. You understand? So they are not always licensed software. So for you to pay for all those softwares are expensive. So we always use a crack version, and those are the ones that they sell. You understand? And for you to crack it, you will see either PM's people or it always comes with the disk, the Microsoft Office disk. You understand? So it always comes with it. For those that knows how to do installation very well, you understand what I mean by cracking. Do you understand?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So Immaculate, I think I've answered your question too, right? So Kelechi, you have to upgrade your Excel from 2013 on. You have to upgrade. So okay, Immaculate is asking if I can give you steps. Okay. So though you're going to have the recordings, but just be following up with what I'm doing. You understand? It's not something hard. Okay. So let me continue. Thank God I'm able to see one or two persons that is actually doing it as I'm doing it. It won't be as if it's just only me alone. Okay. So now the next thing we do now is that you click on edit. It's edit here, it can be transformed in your own system. Okay, you don't be confused, it's still the same thing. So I'll click on edit. So when I click on edit, so the next thing I will now do is, you can see how messy this data is. You can see. So the first thing we do is, can anybody tell me the first thing we're supposed to do here? Can anyone tell me what the first thing we have to do with this data?
So I think the first thing to do is to remove all error or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Okay, any other person? So any other person?
Okay, I think the first thing should be, the next thing should be to place all the things that are supposed to be placed, because like the serial number is placed on that page. In fact, it is actually meant to rearrange.
To rearrange. Okay.
Yes.
For me, I think we should just name the columns so that we know what we are doing. Like name the columns.
Name the columns.
Okay, to arrange each in their specific columns.
Okay, and no problem. So you are still on the path, yes. So but the first thing we do is we have to remove these first three rows. If you notice these first three rows, they are not really making any sense. The first three rows. So it's only this third row that has some headings. Okay, which is still repeated here also. Can you see? So now what we can now do is that let's remove the first three rows, and how to remove that all the things you've learned in the first data that I use. We're now going to apply it here. So now what I will do is I'll go to my home, I'll go to remove rows. I'll say remove top rows. For removing top rows, I will put numbers of rows to remove, 3. And after I click 3, then I'll click OK. So after clicking OK, so this other row also, I can as well still remove it. Okay, I can still go back again and go to my home, say remove rows, remove top rows. I can say 1. So after then, you can see this is our header. The header shouldn't be column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, column 6, like that. It should be our first row here. So now we can make our first row our header. That means that I'll now come to my code here. I'll say make use first row as header. I click here. I see that we are progressing, right? So now let me check. This one now is serial number. I can click here and put serial number. For this one now that is column 2, I can come here and put state. So let me check the data type for the sales. It is text. For this one also, yes, I think it's a good number. This also, let me check data type for this. It's the old number. This one also, let me give it the old number because it's not a decimal, it doesn't have decimal points. This one also, let me give it the old number. This one has decimal. I can come here and go to decimal number. So now if you check this column 8, column 9, column 10, column 11, they are not necessary. It has null value or true. So now I can select them. I hold my control key and I select the 4 of them. And after selecting the 4 of them, so the next thing I will do is to go to my home and say remove column. I can click on the drop down here. Why is it? It's not working. I'm coming. So now let me go to home. Let me go to remove column. Supposed to allow us to remove the column.
So please, I'm lost though.
You are lost. So where are you before?
Where we remove that
Where
first,
did you
where
go?
where we remove the top 3 rows. So I'm still seeing 1 null half of the year and the first row before Abia Adamawa. So I don't know where you went.
You are still seeing 1 row. Then you remove another row again. You remove the first row again.
Okay.
You remove the first row again. So after removing the first row again, then you're going to have what I have here. Then you edit this first one as state. Is that okay?
Okay. The first column I will edit it as state.
as state, yes. So that you cannot be on the same page with me here.
And this messy data, did you develop it yourself or?
It is sample data, yes, for training purpose.
Okay. I was thinking maybe we could get it. I think it should help us also.
I think I've sent it to you now. Didn't you have it on your platform?
I didn't get it. Let me check.
It's on the platform, yes. The coordinator has sent it since the last time. So now can I continue? So here now I want to remove this, but it's not allowing me to remove. Let me figure out why. Or even if I cannot use that, let me right click on it. Yes, I can right click on it and say remove column. I think this is better. I can right click on it and click on remove. I can right click on it and click on remove.
Won't delete button or Control D work on it, Control X work on it? I shortcuts.
Control X for what?
Or delete key, like no shortcut on it.
So yes, there is no shortcut.
Okay, like.
So it's either you right click on it, you delete it, or you go to your home, you delete it from there. But I tried the home, it doesn't work. And at the same time, you can still select the column and use your delete button on your keyboard. I think that should work also. Is that okay? So we are trying to clean this data. So now let's now still look at what are the problems that data still have. Another challenge that the data has is that here now we're having error. Here we are having null value. Okay, remember we do not want to alter the data itself, the originality of the data. So which means that we can replace the error value with 0. And we can also replace the null value with 0. So now we can now come here, I'll click here. Then I'll go to home. I'll go to replace value. Value to find. I can say I want to replace the null. I want to replace the null value with what? With 0. Then I'll click OK. And then if I want to replace the error also, I can say this value, say error, replace the error value with 0. Doesn't allow. So now let me come here. Replace value. Let me click on replace value. Let me click on this, and then you can see we have replace error. If you right click on the column, you have replace error. Then if I go to replace error here, what value do you want to replace the error with? 0, because I do not want to alter the data. You can see that everything is going fine, right? So now the next thing I will do is click on this other column too. Go to replace error. Replace error with 0. So you replace the null value. Let me say replace value. Let me put null here. Replace null value with 0. So also here also we can adjust it come here. Replace null value. You go to replace value. Null value with 0. So now if you want to get unclaimed data sets, if you want to get a messy data set, you can get it from Kaggle.com. Kaggle.com. Let me put it on the chat button. In case you are looking for data to practice, in case you are looking for Okay, for data practice, data cleaning. Kindly visit kaggle.com. So that kaggle.com, you sign up with them. After signing up with them, so you can search for messy data or dirty data. Yes, so you can see varieties of dirty data that you can work with and clean it. Is that okay? So now let me continue. So now with this now here, I think I've done this. Then the last one is this. I will come here. I have errors. Let me replace errors. This error with 0. So now the next thing is you see that the last 2 rows, is it the last 2 rows or the last 1 row? The last 1 row. The last 1 row is not making sense. So we can remove it. So then we can go to home and say remove rows. Then I can go to remove bottom rows. I can say the last one, which is 1. Then I'll click OK. It has been removed. Is our data now cleaned or not? So I'm asking a question. Is the data now clean or not? Is it clean now or not? Do you have any other challenge with the data? Kindly go through it. I'm not receiving any response yet. And if you got into this stage that I have, can you signify? Okay.
I think,
Sir,
okay. I think the only error left on the data is that the state still has the serial number on them. I don't know if that's normal or if the way it can be cleaned.
The state still have what?
Numbers on them. They still have the serial numbers on them, and you see how they calling for serial number. Is that normal? Like, can it be removed or something?
This serial number, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We can remove the color.
I think it's better like this.
So any other thing again?
sir,
Something else.
Okay. So another person.
the outcome of your own is different from what my system is showing
Yes.
me. Like the
It's different
state,
from yours.
your own, your heading,
So
like the
what is your own
heading,
showing you?
the heading. Before I change my state to state and the dash to serial number, one is showing me column 3, column 4, column 5 instead of these things that are shown on your own, half of the year and all. So.
It's showing column 3, column something, right?
Yes.
And is this the same data that we are using at the beginning?
Yes, it's the same data. It's the same data. I just had to pause because I don't know. You didn't mention that you renamed all the column. It was just like that
So I
in your
think
own,
it's
but
only
mine just
I only removed the first 4 rows. The first 4 rows. Then I now make the 5th row. I now make it the edges. And that 5th rows have all those half of the year, IGR, and all of that. That's it. It's only the state heading that has null value that I have to now put state there. Is that okay?
maybe I was on.
Oh yes, maybe you've already. Is there any need to justify the data to make it look good? Justifying the data is not necessary. Yes, it's not necessary. So what you need to do is just to load the data after cleaning it. So cleaning is actually to make sure that your data is well organized, so that by the time you want to do your analysis on your data, it won't be giving you error. So now, can you share your screen? Let me see your screen. If you can share your screen. Who is that? Is that Faith? Faith, can you share your screen?
I don't know if I can share my screen because I'm using my phone to list to get attend the class, and I'm using my system to work. I don't know if I can do that.
Or you can only share your screen on your laptop. Yes, that's if you are joining the class with laptop.
No, I joined with my phone.
With your phone. Okay. So you won't be able to do that. Okay. But what you do is that well, I'm still going to do it seems maybe you skip a step.
I
You
think
understand?
so.
Or you
Yeah.
skip a step. But all I will do now is that is there anybody that has another challenge again? So that I will see if I can quickly go back to the data again and redo it again.
Yes, sir.
Immaculate.
I click on my own arrow. Then I went to replace value.
Yes.
Value. Then
For the
there,
error, for the error, you right click on the column. Then you see replace error.
I saw replace error with, like, I saw value to find. Then
Yes.
another row is replace with.
Okay.
Then I'm trying to type in something there. The numbers, figures are not entering, but alphabets are entering. I don't know.
Values are not entering.
Yes, I'm trying. Wait.
And have you changed the data type for each of them? You know,
Not really.
I work on the data type before. Thereby,
Maybe because of the values I'm having here, because I'm not following you people's the data you used. I used the one on my system. But let me just keep trying. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So give it a data type. Probably maybe it's that data type that is affected. So for the data type, put numbers. If it's a number, if it's a whole number, you put it there.
Okay, sir.
So any other question?
Yes, I want to ask, right? If I'm using Excel 13, is it the same way to display on my 13 that to display on your Excel 15 or 17?
And the Excel 13 has limitation. You know, it's a old
Yes, because I see. Okay, because seeing my own, I'm realizing that it's not displaying as it's displaying on your own.
You won't be able to use 13. You have to upgrade it.
Okay,
so you have to install 2016, at least 2016. So you can use either 2016 or 2019.
Okay, sir.
Yes, so that's the one that has a complete tools.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So any other person, I want to quickly go through the last cleaning I did. I want to quickly go through it. So
I went down to check why I started a new sheet to see to start again. So I'm back to what we were doing, and after removing that first row, I removed that first row. Now I can see the null in my serial number and the null in my state. Then I can see that half of the year in the rest of the other one. Now, if I remove another row, what I did that time, I now remove another row, which is 1. That one now I remove that half of the year and all those things, including the state and the column on.
Yes, if you remove that, if you remove another one row, then you will not be left with state having an heading null. Then all those half of the year, blah blah blah. You now make that one first row as header.
How am I supposed to do it? How am I supposed to make it as header?
So you go to your home, you go to make first row, you see first row as header.
Is it okay?
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Then
I cannot edit. Yes, I cannot edit and change it to state.
Yeah, you cannot edit and change it to state.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm getting it.
Yeah, you're welcome. So any other question?
Hello, sir. Yes, sir.
Say what?
Hello, sir. Yes, I said that I have a question to ask.
Yeah, what's your question?
Okay, sir. I can't really follow because I was trying to charge my laptop yesterday. The thing got burnt. So even this morning, I'm I use my laptop. But I just want to ask, like this uses this first row as header. Is it only the first row that you can use as header, or can you use any row?
No, 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 no. It is that first, that tool that you see there, they actually state it clearly there, use first row as header. That means
Yeah.
that if you are cleaning a particular data in which that row can be used as your heading, you can actually use it.
Okay, that means you can't use any other one.
Yeah, you can. In fact, you can actually go to the middle of your data and use it as header. It's not even possible.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
understand? It's because that one actually carries all the necessary headings for each column. That's why we say use it as an header. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So now let me now quickly go through the data again. So for those that maybe lost in the
track.
course of cleaning the data,
Yes, sir.
yes, and at the same time, so that they can actually follow up. Okay, so now let me quickly do that now. So don't forget that you still have access to the recordings after the training. So you are rest assured. And don't also forget that if you want to get a messy data or the data that you can use for the dashboard reporting, you can as well get it on kaggle.com. So kaggle.com. So let me open my new Excel. So now this is my Excel sheet. I told you the first thing you do is to import your data into your Excel. Okay. And for us to do that, so we're going to go to data, go to new query. So when you get to new query, go to from file, go to from workbook. So when you go to from workbook, let me go to where your data is on your desktop or on your laptop. Go to where your data is. This is where I have my data. I'll click on claim data. Yes. I'll click on import. After clicking on import, so I'll preview. So when I preview this now, you can see, we can actually see it from a glance that the data is messed up. It needed cleaning. So you cannot load this data unless you clean it first, then you load it. And I said that in your own Excel, you can have it as load, transform, and cancel. But here on my own, I have it as load, edit. So edit and transform is still the same thing. So now the assignment I will give you is to make use of this other one. Or in fact, I can even give you as a classwork, not even an assignment, as a classwork after I finish up with this one I'm working on. Use this second one as it's a classwork, and then you should be able to do it in the 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So now after clicking here now, I'll click on edit. So when I click on edit, you can see this is my data. So now these first 3 rows are not making sense. Okay, all what we have there is null, 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 null. So we can remove it. Then we go to home, we say remove rows, we say remove top rows. Top rows, say 3. So now this next one that we have here now, you can see we only have states here. We still have null, idea, various. This one too, we can still remove it because we can just add states to these edits. So we can remove that first row also. We'll say remove rows, you say remove top rows, say 1. So now after then, so the next thing we now do is that you can make the first row as your header. So then you click on the home, say use first row as header. So when you say use first row as header, so then you can double click here, double click there, and then you say state. So now after having that, we've solved the first problem. So now the second problem is you want to remove all these columns that are empty. You can click here, you can say remove column, say remove column. I click on the column, I right click, I choose remove. Click on the column, I right click, I choose remove. After removing it, so the next thing that I will do is I will now check this one. Now I can remove this column, so we don't need serial number. Okay. So now for this first column here, do we have any null value? Yes, we have null value towards the end. So let's claim this. This one now we have null value and we have errors. We can right click on it. You can say replace error. Replace error with 0. And at the same time, you can replace null value. Replace null value with 0. So we do the same thing for this other one also. So replace error, 0. So now let me, okay, I didn't change this. Let me change it to number. Replace error, 0. Because immediately I change this column to number, that's when I'm able to replace the error to 0. So I will still come here and say replace value, then I'll say null. Replace it with 0. So we come here also. Say replace value. I'll say, let me go to home, place value, put null, and 0. Okay, seems I've not put it as data, I've not put number here as data type. So I think, is it Immaculate that has that question or Fit? So this is the issue you are having.
Yes, it's immaculate.
So, Immaculate, okay, so that's fine. So replace value, then I can say null, say 0. Can see now it's working now. So now this other one too, I'll put it on number first as data type. Oh, it's not even one number. Let me go to my settings. I can take it back by one step. So I can put this at decimal. So come here. I say replace errors. 0.
So I didn't get what you
Okay, so
just
now
did
after
though.
having this
My
now,
own is not showing replace value or replace the third.
who is that? Who Faith, right?
Uh,
So he said your own is not showing what?
this.
I can't hear you. So can you come again?
The third one I want to correct.
You said what? So can I continue? So now let me continue. So after then, I want to remove this last row. I want to remove this last row. And to remove this last row now, we'll go to home. I will say remove bottom row. I will say 1. So I think I've finished clearing it. So after finishing, after concluding the cleaning, the next thing you now do is that to click on load, close and load. You can see how the data is now looking beautiful. So that's why I told you that there is no need of you justifying the data from the Power Query editor. By the time you load it, it is well justified already. Okay. So now the task I will be giving you now is in that unclaimed data, we have 2 data there. The second data, so I want you to make use of it on your system, and if possible, if you can share your screen. I think now I have like is it 3 or 4 persons that is following up with their laptop. Okay, Faith. So use the second data, then for the cleaning, yes. And if possible, if you can share your screen. If you can share your screen after cleaning it, yes. After cleaning it. So that you will actually see. And then if there is any other person too that can still walk through that, like Immaculate also, since you have your system with you.
No, sir,
Can you
I'm
also
trying to download new Excel because I was using the old one, but it's still giving me that what you people are doing, but I'm not getting the same this thing. So I'm trying to download another one. That will take me my time, please.
no problem, no problem. So you can do it after the class now.
Sure, I will try it
Do it
after the
after the
class.
class. Okay, no problem. So Arinze said, I don't have Excel yet. Okay, no problem. You can try that after the class. Yes, no problem. Okay, so Kizito, there's no need of justifying it. Once you load the data into your Excel, it will be well arranged. All what you need is to clean it. So any questions so far? While I'll be waiting for you to work on this, the task given to you, which is a classwork. Yes, it's not going to be an assignment, it's going to be a classwork, in which I'm going to give you like 10 minutes to do it. And if you have a question, then you ask. So Miriam, are you working on it?
So I said my laptop got burnt last night. Why try to?
Last night. Oh,
Yes, sir. So
your laptop or laptop charger?
I think I don't even know. I think both of them because I'll be trying it this morning. No, it's not coming up. I'm waiting for my phone to do that one.
Okay, sorry about that.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
So I'm with you.
still trying to correct the last one we just did. One of my role is not replacing error with zero.
And I told you that you click on each of the column and put the necessary data type.
I should click on that error.
You click on the column that where you have the error. Go to data type in your own. Then put the data type as number, as whole number. Yes, if it's whole number, you put whole number. If it's decimal, you put decimal. Then you'll be able to replace it.
So I don't understand. I should go there and write whole number.
It's something that I just did now. I said click on the column first before you replace it. Before you replace that error or whatsoever. Click on the column, go to your own. Then you see where we have data type.
Data type, okay.
Yes, select. I don't know the data type that column has. If it's the whole number or if it's decimal, you select the one that is appropriate. Then you try again to replace it. It will work.
Okay.
So I'm still waiting for you.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay.
So any other question again? Is it working now, Faith?
Yes, sir, I've done that.
So now do the classwork that I gave you now. So use the other data, yes. So you clean it, and after cleaning it, then you share your screen at the end, yes.
Okay, so I'm to open a new sheet for that, but
yes, open a new sheet. And do we have any other person that is working the same time with Faith on the tax, on the classwork? So for those that are using the lower version of Excel, so just try and get the new version before our next class. At least if you can get 2016, yes.
So we are not working on it because of updates, but by before next class we'll update it so we'll flow with the class.
Okay, no problem. So that's fine. I'm even glad that some of you are actually turning up today. Yes, at least I could have a positive response for up to like let's say up to 10. Yes, up to 10 persons here. Yes, or 6 or 7. So that's a very good one. Okay. So and then you will still have the recordings also as well. So you can actually use the recording also to flow along by the time you have your system fixed. So okay. So Faith, I'm waiting for you. And if you have any other person too that is also working on it, so we are waiting for you. And we actually want you to share your screen.
How am I going to share my screen when I'm using my phone to?
Yes, what you now do is that you have your email on your laptop now, isn't it?
Yes.
And you have your WhatsApp on your laptop.
Yes. No. I used to use web to log in my WhatsApp.
Oh, yes, you can log in your WhatsApp, then click on the link. You can join or you can still join with your laptop. So just click the link to take you to the meeting.
Okay, sir.
Oh, yes, you can do that. So I'm giving you just 10 minutes. So which means that by let me say adding additional maybe 5 minutes or 6 by 11:20 or 11:25, yes, it should be done. By 11:25, it should be done. So I'm waiting, and if you have a question, you can ask. And if anybody also have any other question too regarding the class, you can as well still ask. So by our next class, we'll be dealing with data modeling. Yes, we're talking about data modeling. Our next class, data modeling.
Okay, sir. Sir,
Yes.
sir, please, I just want to ask, although the question may look somehow. I said all this data that we are working with, all this data that we are arranging, like are we going to be taught on how to use them properly? Because we'll not just clean data and leave them like that. What
Oh,
will,
did you miss the first class?
no, that was around the first class. Okay, so I still
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, it's still the same thing. Now. Just like that first class now, we didn't do much of cleaning. We only
Okay.
split the column that needed to be cleaned, and then we go straight to the dashboard report. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So now, which
Okay.
implies that after you clean, that's when you now go further with all those pivot table, pivot charts, slicers, and all of that.
Okay, sir.
So yes. So in fact, data cleaning comes first before dashboard report. But the challenge we have with people is that people always run from anything calculations or computations. So now we always make our first class to be interactive and then interesting. You know, by the time you are seeing appealing chart and all that, it's more interesting. You understand? So you
Yes.
know this part that we are cleaning now is boring somehow. Do you understand? So now
Yes.
if we start with cleaning in the first class, some people might get discouraged. So that's why
Okay.
we take the cleaning. Cleaning is supposed to be the first class. So that's why we now made that cleaning the second class. So which implies that after you clean your data, that's when you now analyze your data.
Okay, sir.
So you're welcome. So any other question? So you guys really follow up today. So I really love that. So that's a good one. And I'm very sure by our next class now, we have more follow up. Yes, because by that time, majority of you will have gotten the assistance. So Faith, we are waiting for you. So when you are done, you let us know.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Who is sharing the screen? It is power. So can you stop sharing it, please? So Idris, can you stop sharing your screen? You are not doing anything. Or is it fit? This is not fit now. Okay. So Faith, can you share what you are doing? Let us see what you are doing.
Okay, I'm trying to now connect my I'm trying to use my system now. I'm coming, I'm using my system to connect now.
Okay.
Yes, who's there?
So we have a little time left. So we are still waiting. So while we are waiting for Faith, you can actually put your.
So is it not possible for me to turn on my camera and just show it, because while loading?
Okay. What did you just say now?
I said, is it possible to turn on my camera and
Okay,
face it to the back?
okay, to share your screen will be taking you time, right?
Like, I'm trying to load my WhatsApp and it's taking time.
Okay. So anyhow you wanted to do it, just do it. Let us see that. Have you done it? Have you finished?
Yes, I'm done.
You are done. So anyhow you want to
Yes.
show us that you
Okay.
prove that you've done it.
All right. Okay. I don't know if you can see it now.
And have you loaded it?
If I've loaded what?
The data after clearing the data. Have you loaded it to the Excel?
No, I just clean it now. I've not done anything, so I just clean it.
Yes, load it. Let us see the final output now. So go to your home. Click on close and load.
Okay. close and load.
So now you can mark your attendance so that you are present today to this class. So
Yeah,
can you do that in the chat? It has been loaded, right?
Yes, sir.
So no problems. At least I have Faith. Yes, only Faith was able to do the classwork. Yes, today. So others, I still wanted you to still work through it, and then if you have a challenge, let me know. So I understand that. I understand the fact that most of you have global version of Excel, and your system also have issues. So, but there's no problem. So kindly mark a register. Put your name, yes. Mark a register on the chat box. Yes, put your full name so that we can have it in our record that you are present. Is that okay?
Also.
So our next class is still going to be our last class in Excel. So you should be dealing with data modeling. Dealing with data modeling. So it's going to be an interesting section. So don't miss the next class. You can put your name, mark your register on the chat box, put your full name so that we can have it in our record. So others have not put down their names. So please put down your names. Down your names. Okay, so that's nice. So others should put down their names. Put down their names. And then in the during the week, by the time you get your system fixed, walk through the what we did today, and then you have any challenge, you can actually reach out to us on the platform. So can you see they reach
So I
out
have
to
a
us?
question. The first class you held, was there a file you shared that was supposed to use for it? The first one you did, the first thing you did
Yes,
today.
today.
Yes,
The first data I
the
used is still
first
on
thing
that.
you did, which was
Okay,
that
which was it? That
X
SQL.
square something.
SQL, yes,
Yes.
that SQL. If you don't have access to that SQL database, it's only when you are taking the SQL class that you'll be able to do that section. But I only show you in case you are working with an organization and they give you an access to SQL database. So all what you need is the SQL server name, the name server. That's what you need. It is when if we are having SQL class, so that's why I will not take you
Okay,
to.
so it's not possible for us to do it.
Yeah, it's not possible for you to do it without you having all those things.
Okay, so wow.
Time for names, everyone is putting their names. Classwork only Faith. Well, it's because it's only Faith that has the system fixed. Let's just assume that others will also participate in our next class. So you permit me to stop here for today. Yes, you permit me to stop here for today. So see you in our next class by God's grace. Okay, so bye for now.
All right, so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.